is going woke and going broke once again. The film production juggernaut refused to learn from the mistakes of Bud Light and Nike, pushing ahead with their hyper-woke remake of the Disney classic Snow White.
Rachel Zegler left stunned as Lilo and Stitch surpasses Snow White. 7-year-old actress might be about to do what Rachel Zegler couldn't deliver Disney a box office triumph. That's right, the upcoming Lilo and Stitch live-action remake is projected to overshadow Snow White's figures. And behind the scenes, insiders say Rachel Zegler is reeling. Let's be real. This is the
when I was a little kid at 5 years old, I did this little pageant, and then I want to be an actor when I grow up. My mom's like, okay, I'll put that on the paper so they can see it. 5 weeks later, there's like, here is a role for Lilo and Stitch.
last thing Rachel needed. After leading a $270 million Disney production into a financial plunge, she's now watching a remake with a fraction of the budget and zero controversy gain serious momentum. The Lilo and Stitch trailer amassed 158 million views in 24 hours, and the movie is expected to open with over $100 million domestically during Memorial Day weekend, nearly matching Snow White's entire run in 3 days. Early estimates suggest a global haul between
Sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Rachel.
$800 million to $1 billion, driven by nostalgia, better scheduling, and a completely drama-free launch. And the lead actress? She's only 7 years old and already displaying more grace than Rachel did in her entire Snow White press tour. In a recent interview, she subtly criticized Rachel by constantly stressing how much she cherished her role and how proud she was of it. Compare that to Rachel's notorious tour where she called herself a narcissist and described Snow White as a story she didn't even like growing up. Now, the contrast is glaring, and fans.
What is your problem with Disney?
Well, right now, everything. I thought, as a parent, I had kids that I would be able to put in front of the television watching a Disney movie while I was doing some work or while I was doing something else. And I thought, they're perfectly safe with Disney movies. Come to find out, they're not.
Are ensuring she notices it? Snow White opened with just $43 million domestically, below the $45 to $55 million projection. It grossed only $195 million worldwide against its $270 million budget. Films need to earn 2.5x their budget to break. Even then, this one didn't even come close. And if that wasn't enough, Rachel's been keeping a low profile ever since. In a recent Instagram post, she was seen riding a New York subway, completely unnoticed by fans, because no one
Everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Even recognized her, a huge difference from just a year ago when she traveled with security and PR handlers in private cars. Yet, despite the flop, Rachel just secured a new role. She's set to star alongside Marissa Tomei in a comedy drama titled She Gets It From Me. So how did she land that role? Some fans think it's not just talent. One theory: Rachel had multi-project deals in
These audiences had other reasons for rejecting the film. Global Times, in an article titled "Cultural Disconnect Hurts Snow White Remake," said that Chinese audiences were more concerned with the film's casting choices and wondered why Disney even had to remake the 1937 classic.
place before Snow White ever tanked. Another: studios still want her as the woke poster child to promote certain branding, if the public clearly isn't buying it anymore. Some even believe her casting has less to do with performance and more to do with the values Hollywood wants to advance. It's one thing to get outperformed by a billion-dollar franchise like Frozen or Inside Out. But what's happening to Rachel Zegler now is on a different level. She's reportedly in full crisis mode, not just because Lilo and Stitch is poised to dominate, but because even average or parody films are leaving her Snow White remake in the dust. Sources say Rachel is now seeking a therapist after the sheer volume of trolling and backlash since Snow White's release. Even before it premiered, she tried to emotionally prep fans by crying on camera, saying, "I know I'm flawed, but people will still show up." But no audiences didn't show up. And now she's seeing her movie lose theater space to Lilo and Stitch and Minecraft films that were expected to do well, but not this well. In China, parents actively avoided bringing their
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
children to see Snow White. Local outlets even published articles criticizing the film's lack of moral lesson and confusing identity messaging as reasons why families were skipping it. Meanwhile, Minecraft is steamrolling the box office. The film crossed $700 million globally in less than 20 days, more than triple what Snow White earned. And get this, some theaters are now literally removing Snow White from their schedules to make room for Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch. This is what people in the industry call shelf replacement. When a film flops hard and no one buys tickets, theaters yank it to maximize showtimes for crowd-pulling titles. In this case, Rachel's Snow White became dead space. Still, Rachel tried attending one of the empty screenings herself. TikTok went viral, showing her and a few friends alone, in a theater with
I love what you said about wanting to entertain audiences. Critics saying Disney's too woke, but you're just putting out storytelling.
We are. Look, I don't really like the term woke because I think it's an umbrella term that I'm not 100% sure I even know what it means, and one could argue that sometimes it's used too liberally. That said, our primary purpose is to entertain.
not a single other person there. Instead of owning the flop, Rachel allegedly started blaming the environment and even her co-stars for the failure, refusing to take personal accountability. And now, fans are noticing a disturbing pattern. Her movie flopped. She avoided the press. She got cast in another film anyway. And now, despite everything, she's still acting like the industry did her wrong. Meanwhile, Minecraft's success is being credited to something simple: joy. No heavy messaging, no lectures, just fun. And audiences are responding with their wallets. Disney's woke formula didn't work this time, and Rachel's the face of that failure. The fallout from Snow White is now echoing through Hollywood indeed. Even though Rachel Zegler just landed a new movie, insiders say her entire career is being quietly reassessed. Studio execs are asking, is Rachel Zegler still a bankable lead door, just a walking controversy? Let's not forget, she's the one who called the prince from the original fairy tale a stalker, then laughed off the idea of love stories and fairy tale romance. That comment alone cost her goodwill with millions of Disney fans, and critics say it perfectly summed up why this remake flopped. It wasn't the visuals, it wasn't the cast, it was the messaging. And now, South Park is gearing up to roast the entire
remake of Snow White released this weekend. There appears to be a sizable problem. Where are the dwarfs? They're gone, cancelled, banished, and not this time by the Wicked Queen. Are they bitten the poison apple of diversity and inclusion, which has turned out to exclude
mess? According to leaks, they're preparing an episode that will target not just Rachel, but also Disney leadership as Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy, who've already been featured in past South Park takedowns. In fact, one of the funniest quotes from Bob recently resurfaced. He says he doesn't even know what woke means anymore. He just wants Disney movies to make a positive impact. Meanwhile, Disney's panic is evident. After Snow White's collapse, reports say they're pausing future live-action remakes. That includes Tangled, which was expected to be their next major girl boss reboot. It all points to one thing. Go woke, go broke isn't just a meme anymore, it's turning into a real industry reset. And fans aren't letting this slide either. They're still posting clips showing how Rachel's original co-stars were replaced with CGI diverse dwarves, just to check political boxes. Even those who supported the film at first are now saying, why did Disney think this would work? Why did Rachel treat the role like a TED Talk? And most importantly, how did they not see this coming? South Park might be the final nail. And from what we know of their style, they're not going to hold back on Rachel, Bob Iger, or anyone else involved. So what started as just another live-action remake has turned into one of the biggest cautionary tales in Hollywood. Now Rachel Zegler is at the center of it all. From Disney's Snow White being removed from theaters to Lilo and Stitch dominating the same screens, to South Park reportedly preparing another roast targeting the entire production. Rachel's role in this PR disaster might go down as the turning point for Disney's entire strategy. The message from audiences is loud and clear. People want fun. They want joy. Not lectures, not corporate messaging, and definitely not rewrites of fairy tales to fit a checklist. And now we want to hear what you think. Do you think Rachel Zegler deserves another chance after this flop? Should Disney finally put a stop to the live-action remake pipeline? Or is Lilo and Stitch proving that audiences just want stories done right without the drama? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll be reading everything. And the best takes might get featured in the next upload. Thanks for watching. See you next time.